right, I need to address something that's a strange phenomenon we've been picking up here at the show, at this enterprise. And it's time that I bring it to you. And this is an open question, okay? What is the deal with this phenomenon? Okay, posed to you. I recently did two things that prompted a lot of right-wing backlash. Number one, I wore this turtleneck. No. Number one, I went on the Tim Pool show, and I told you that has led to a lot of sort of an extra amount of right-wing angry DMs and stuff to that effect, and accounts doing videos about me and saying that I'm a cuck and all these different things. And number two, I went to a party, I guess you describe it as. It was an after party for the holiday shindig that I got invited to at the White House. That's not important. But the point is that I met a bunch of other liberal influencers, right? And we took a little photo, in part because this particular group of folks that I'm standing with here garners a lot of right-wing attention. But I hadn't, ever publicly posted something like this. And since this photo was sent out on the World Wide Web, you have Dean Withers, Parker, who is like Parker Get a Job on different social media accounts, me, Adam Mockler, Harry Sisson, and Chris Mowry. We've seen another cycle of rage from the MAGA folks, right? Because again, the type of content that some of the folks do here is more confrontational to right-wing folks than even I do. Okay. But as this has been happening, I've noticed a trend. Because after taking that photo and meeting these guys and other people, I was warned by some of them that, hey, if you are seen with us, just get ready because you'll get a lot of really strange, very strange backlash. Well, I mean, I asked, what do you mean by that? You can take that Jaden, for now. Thank you. We'll get there, guys. And I said, what do you mean strange backlash? I know what angry messages look like. What's going to be strange about it? And then I learned, okay, when you go look up some of these folks that I just listed off, liberal, young, male influencers, there is a strange amount of sexualization by MAGA of them. Like if you just Google their names and look at what MAGA accounts are saying about them, they are strangely obsessed with the sexuality of these dudes, and now me included. This is not the beginning of it, but it definitely got worse since making that appearance there. And I've already covered things like this, where someone had sent me, in times gone by, you can't tell because we blurred it out, but it was Joe Biden doing unthinkable things to someone who had my face edited onto it. And my question to you is why? Why is it, I don't know if this is true, but I heard as a joke one time that like the rage part of your brain, like hating someone, and sex part of your brain, are those close? I don't know. Maybe I'm just pulling that out of my rear end. But what is this weird, I'm angry at you, so I'm going to make photographs of you in sexual contexts? I posted about this with a guy named Alex Rosen, who is really obsessed with these four guys, Dean Withers, Parker, Chris, and Harry, and put them in leather. And you might think like, oh, Luke, that's probably just a nobody who doesn't have anything better to do. No. And his username's I Fight for Kids. He says he's the undisputed N-word champion and has 450 essentially 1,000 followers on X. So real accounts with followers are taking time out of their day to edit, going into Photoshop and edit these guys into sexual outfits. What? Or my photo. Who's taking the time to edit? Or the recent ones we've received. Edit me in these weird scenarios. What? Why is that your argument against us? Or a big obsession is with, as you'll see here, the same guy, Alex Rosen, posted this of Harry Sisson. Here, he responded to Harry Sisson, just said, "You're gay," with saying that they are are homosexual. And again, it's just a weird argument. So I wrote, I'm genuinely worried about Alex Rosen because he's been posting a bunch about this recently. Lately, he's been dedicating a concerning amount of time towards sexualizing Harry Sisson and company. Not sure what's going on. Maybe family should intervene. And then finished it with "Get a life, freak," which is a little more aggressive than I normally speak, but I was kind of, just trying to emphasize the point there. So then you go through and they describe themselves as white dudes for Harris. You have, that being posted by somebody, just random people editing, I guess, like dancers around them, male dancers. You have edits like this from MAGA accounts. To your brother, I'm gay. You sure? I'm gay. Okay. I like mustaches and muscles. I like to touch butts when they bubble. No, we're not triplets. We are a couple. We're gay. Alexa, play. I like to touch butts when they're bubbles. You have edits like this. So you can take it off. You get the point. What is this? What is this? What? It's not no one's. There's big accounts doing this. And it seems uniquely sexual. Oh, you probably all sleep together. That's another thing. We got a photograph edited together sent in. And it's like me and the guys in that photo, or some combination of them. Like, similar to the Joe Biden and me photo. Why is that such at the forefront of y'all's minds? How do I word this? As y'all know, nothing's wrong at all with being gay. Are you hearing me, MAGA? Nothing's wrong. But if we're going to describe activities as gay, which is what they're doing, right? It's sort of like the middle school, that's gay. Then of these two activities, I think the latter is more gay. Okay, wait. The former is supporting Vice President Kamala Harris publicly, okay? Because that's what they're describing as gay. But the other option is editing young dudes in sexual contexts. I would say that's a little bit more. Yeah, and those guys happen not to be gay, by the way. So they're still using it like that, as I said before. So what I'm going to do here, I think we need to just, for the sake of the maturity and manhood of some of these MAGA folks, we need to officially retire the usage of the term gay as a synonym for lame. Because that's what I thought we got over as a society a long time ago. But we didn't. We didn't. If you've heard my recent debates with Isabella Moody, you've learned we haven't. And it's unfortunate. But if your political argument, and this is the serious part of it, relies on childish insults or a profound and confusing obsession with the sexuality of your opponent, you might have the weaker argument. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can argue against Trump, and I never, partially because it would be just disgusting to think about, I never have to pontificate on his sexuality or his sexual life, other than, occasional comments about how but that's not even sexual, just about the relationship of him and Melania being one that is so distant. But that's not even sexual. So I don't need, as a part of my political argument, such weird fantasies as the ones they get into. But what is that? Again, I'm asking the audience, why is the foremost argument against the white dudes for Harris coalition, as it was, or I guess now it's white dudes against Trump, or now because I took a photo with them, and I'm a white dude and I was for Harris, so I guess you could categorize me in that group, but sort of that crew, the garnering of such a hyper specific, strange, irrelevant fixation being paraded around like a political argument. What is that? I think some of these people who are so upset at now me and many others need to get that's mean. They need to do a little introspection. Need a little help to understand what this weird photoshopping at 3 a.m. something of a political guy you don't like having sex with somebody else. What's going on there, right? There's something there. Don't know what it is. Is it just the weak argument? Is it their own confusion? Is it just a really fun hobby? I've never tried it. Is it insecurity? I don't know. But what was that guy's username? I fight for kids. I fight for kids. Just might have to do a little of that introspection. Strangest segment I've ever done. Oh, wait, back to this camera. I meant to say too, a big argument after my Tim Pool appearance was people saying that I'm a cuck. Oh, I bet your partner, you like to watch them get, you know. What? All right, now we're done with the segment.